everyone, it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So you guys, spooky season is fast approaching. And if you're like me, an avid reader and someone who loves to listen to audiobooks, I got you covered. I have a lot of book recommendations coming up very, very soon. But one of them I want to share with you is an older book that I read about 2 years ago called The Winter People. It is very spooky, talks about the haunted woods, urban legends. It's about a girl and her mother and her sister who move out to a cabin and they're off the grid. And one day the girl wakes up and her mother has completely disappeared. So while she's searching for her mother, she finds a hidden journal under the floorboards from a girl from 1908 who previously lived in that cabin. So it goes between the past and the present, talking about urban legends, about ghosts, about spooky things that are happening in the woods. It is a really fast and easy listen. So if you're looking for a book just in time for spooky season, check out The Winter People. I will have it listed for you in my Amazon storefront. But you guys, we have a lot of juicy royalty to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So Queen Camilla writes an adorable poem to a very famous celebrity as she launches a brand new competition. Queen Camilla showed off her creative flair by writing a poem for actor and comedian Sir Lenny Henry to launch a brand new short story competition for primary school children. Now, as we know, Queen Camilla is a huge champion for literacy and literature, so she sent her poem to Sir Lenny, who happens to be one of the judges for the 500 words. Now, he was to read her poem for the launch of 500 words, an annual competition that encourages children to use their imagination and write the story they would love to read in 500 words or less without worrying about spelling and punctuation. So they mainly are just encouraging children to use their imagination and to write. I absolutely love that idea. So Camilla wrote an adorable poem, and here it is. She wrote, "I send this letter, dear Sir Lenny, to ask you kindly if there's any chance you might today at breakfast tell your viewers of a contest which inspires imagination, creativity, celebration. The call you will, I'm sure you have heard. Send us your 500 words. If you're aged from 5 to 7 or from 8 up to 11, write your story, send it in. You could be the one to win. Any subject, any style, make us marvel, make us smile, make us think and think again. You have until November 10. The hunt is on, we seek a star. The best of luck, Camilla R." That is an adorable poem. She did a wonderful job. So it sounds like a very interesting and fun competition. So best of luck to everyone who enters this competition. The competition is supported by BBC Tech, which launched live on BBC Breakfast yesterday at a primary school in Abergavenny. Some 50 finalists will be invited to meet the Queen at Buckingham Palace in February of 2024 at the grand final and have their stories read out by famous faces. This sounds very exciting. Primary school aged children from across the UK can submit their original short story from today until 8 p.m. on Friday, November 10th. The gold winners in the two age groups, 5 to 7 and 8 through 11, will receive not only the height of Sir Lenny Henry in books, but also 500 books for their schools. So it sounds like a very fun and interesting competition. So Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is keeping it in the family. Today she visited a Leeds textile mill that was once owned by a distant relative. In 1958, her paternal great-grandfather, Noel Middleton, helped to sell the family business William Lupton & Co. to A.W. Hainsworth in Pudsey, West Yorkshire, after more than 160 years in business. So when the princess decided she wanted to undertake a visit to highlight the thriving nature of the British textile industry, obviously this busy factory was a great choice. Now today she was wearing another power suit. It was a green suit by British designer Burberry. She had on a pair of beautiful, look like velvet matching heels and some eye-catching gold jewelry. I have to say, I love Catherine in a power suit. Now, in one hilarious moment, Catherine was shown a mannequin by the name of Oliver who was dressed in the King's Guard military uniform made by the mill, calling it, quote, amazing to see how the garments have been constructed. She said, I love the feel of it and the smell of it. I do think it would be very fascinating to watch a uniform being made. So Catherine also visited the weaving section where she spent several minutes poring over the giant looms, as well as the dyeing area where fabric was being turned red for Buckingham Palace military uniforms. Her eyes were caught by a group of ladies packing cream blankets with a distinctive colorful stripe for Canadian firm Hudson Bay, part of a patch of 1,600 that are being made and packed to send out in time for their Christmas market. Now, the last stop on her tour was the laboratory where new techniques are carried out, and the princess watched a fire retardant test. So this looked like a really fun and interesting visit. The insider said that Catherine had done her homework, she knew the history, and she had some very interesting questions to ask. And of course, they were all very happy that she was there, kind of bringing it full circle that a Middleton is there in the factory. So it looked like a very fun and successful visit. So a news article came out that says a royal expert claims Meghan Markle wants to move on from royals and launch her global brand, but Prince Harry doesn't. That Prince Harry is stuck in the past. Now, I 100% agree with 50% of this royal expert's claims. I believe that Meghan Markle definitely wants to move forward with her global icon status, and that Prince Harry is still holding on to his royal roots because, let's be honest, he's a prince. That is all he's ever known. It is all he has ever done. And 100% I believe he is holding on to his family values and traditions that are steeped in royalty. However, I do not believe for one moment that Meghan Markle, that woman, will never ever relinquish or release that royal status nor royal title unless she divorces Harry and remarries a billionaire. That woman is not going to go down without a fight. That is why every single time you see Meghan Markle appear somewhere, she is always billed as Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Even if they put Meghan Markle in the article, you will see a correction where Meghan's team will make sure they correct it to Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. That's not because of Harry, y'all. That's Meghan. But I do believe that Meghan wants to launch the global icon status. Unfortunately, Rachel Raglan, honey, it ain't you. You are not a global icon. That's Princess Catherine, but it is not Meghan Markle. Let's be real here. Nobody knew who Meghan Markle was until she married Prince Harry. That's just 100% fact. And Suits was not the most popular or well-known show. It was on a little cable network in America, and it was okay, but it wasn't Friends. It wasn't Seinfeld. It was, Suits that half the people I knew never even watched it. Now, Meghan definitely put suits on the map, and it is now more popular than ever because it was tied to Meghan Markle. And that's only because of the scandal and the negativity that she has brought to the royal family. So people in America have now checked it out on Netflix because they wanted to see what the hoopla was about. But Meghan Markle on her own, before the royal family, even after her leaving the royal family as a working royal, is still not a global icon. And a lot of brands are running scared because they don't want her repping their brands. I'm not seeing companies like Dior or Burberry or Chanel running to rep Meghan Markle in their clothing. I think it's going to be a very uphill battle for WME to get Meghan Markle some of these huge brands that she's going to need to become a global icon. Now, we know there's rumors that she wants to re-release the TIG, which could happen. There's that Instagram account that's still sitting there with her name, Meghan. But so far, Meghan Markle has not really done anything worthwhile since she has signed with WME, besides that horrible microphone mishap and that car chase in New York City. They have been crickets over there in Montecito. So we're all waiting with bated breath to see what Meghan Markle is going to come out with, because we know so far season 2 of her podcast is not looking very likely. Yes, they have that book deal, Meet Me at the Lake, that they're doing for Netflix. But as far as Meghan Markle herself being a global icon, I haven't seen anything yet. So we'll have to wait and see when she's going to come out with this new branding, perhaps in 2024, because let's be honest here, 2023 has been an honest, horriblous year for Harry and Meghan, in my opinion. Now let's get back to the article. So the article says that Meghan Markle wants to move on for being a duchess and launch her own global brand, but Prince Harry is much happier at home with the children. The royal biographer Emily Andrews said even though the Duke and Duchess of Sussex looked every inch the couple in love during the Invictus Games, more like public PDA, they have reportedly been living separate lives. Now, we have been saying this for months here on the channel. I would agree with that statement. They haven't been seen publicly together since May, when they had that disastrous New York City car chase. Then we saw them briefly for Meghan Markle's birthday, where Harry looked miserable, walking several feet behind her. And then they were drung out together to be the salt and pepper, the peanut butter and the jelly, the loved-up PDA couple of the Invictus Games. But Harry, in my opinion, looks miserable. He's very uncomfortable in his own skin. He is very uncomfortable in the public life. Now, Harry wants to focus more on the past, and Meghan wants to focus on the future. I can 100% see that, because Prince Harry doesn't have any real life ambitions. What does he want to do in life? The guy was born into millions of dollars, a silver spoon in his mouth. He never has to walk, talk, and chew gum by himself. He has people to think for him, people to clean for him. He doesn't have any goals or aspirations in life. So doing his little charity gigs and hanging out with the kids is probably enough to fulfill him. But Meghan Markle, the washed up D-list showgirl who never has really accomplished anything on her own in her entire life and doesn't really have a great portfolio of work, she is dying to become that global icon, that superstar, that A-lister. The problem is, I think it's 3 years too late. It's too late, sister. The boat has shipped. People don't like ya. They can't stand ya, right? But she's at her lowest point of popularity in history. Not higher, lower, where Prince William, her arch nemesis, the guy she's been throwing hand grenades at for the past 3.5 years, is literally the most popular person in America. Take that in your pipe and smoke it, Meghan. So now you're trying to launch a global brand to a bunch of people in America who don't like you. So good luck, sweetheart. But again, I think Meghan, she's still trying to prove herself that she's worthy. But the problem is she messed up. I don't know how Meghan is going to come back from this, how she's going to reinvent herself, because people just don't believe anything that she says or does. Everything is very calculated. It's always for the cameras. It's always for money. Again, she preaches family value and forgiveness and kindness, yet doesn't show it to her own family. So it's going to be very, very hard for Meghan to move forward. But according to this royal expert, Harry is not very comfortable in the public eye. He wants to stay home, and Meghan wants to be out in the public. They're living two separate lives. That Harry doesn't enjoy being in the public life, which I can 100% see. And then he wants to stay home with the children. But again, Meghan wants to launch her global brand. And as we've stated on my channel, they are living separate lives. It's very obvious when they're in public, like for instance, for the Kevin Costner 805 live event, Harry looked like a show pony who was being dragged out on stage with Meghan Markle sitting up there with the award ready to give it out to Kevin Costner and get the mic, and she was denied. Harry did not look like he wanted to be up there. He looked very uncomfortable. And then he kind of stood behind Meghan before she threw the award at him and patted him on the backside and said, "Go get her, Harry. Be a big boy, Harry." It's like he's a child and he needs, Meghan to be his mom and to kind of, get him around and get up and get dressed and go out and do things, because otherwise he probably just wants to stay home in his drawers, smoke some pot, and play video games. That's probably what Harry wants to do. He's kind of like he's a 38-year-old man-child who never had to grow up because it wasn't a requirement. He's had everything done for him his entire life, and he has no real life goals. And then he marries Meghan, the most motivated, wannabe showgirl ever, who has motivation in spades. She is a very calculated woman who wants to be famous, wants to be a star, and she doesn't want to sit around and watch Harry smoke pot and play video games. That's not going to be enough for Meghan Markle. So that's why they're like ships in the night going in two separate directions. And in my opinion, ultimately, when Meghan does not get her goal, she's going to blame Harold. She is going to blame the failure on her career as a failure to launch, and she's going to write that tell-all book and she's going to hang it on Harry. Then she's going to jump ship and find husband number 3 or 4. I personally do not believe for one moment that Meghan Markle is going to be satisfied being married to Prince Harry over the next decade, especially when they become dead in the water for her global brand launch. What do you guys think? Do you think the demise of her career is ultimately going to be the demise in their marriage? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. Well, guys, that is all the royal news that I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really do appreciate each and every one of you and your ongoing support. So you guys, we just hit a little bit over 27,000 followers. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. And if you were one of the over 50% of the people who watch and enjoy my videos and have yet to subscribe, I hope that you will subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm working really hard to put out high quality videos for you each and every week, and my goal is to get over 30,000 followers before the end of the year. So if you will help me out and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, be sure to catch me on TikTok and Instagram, as well as check out my merch store. Thank y'all for being here, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.